Hey, good afternoon, Hood News peeps. How's everyone doing? Waiting for you guys to hop on. I'm gonna wait for you guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me. All right, so I have a guest today, and we are going to give you guys some very important information. And I've got Sergeant Carson with me today. Sergeant, tell everybody who you are and what are we talking about today?
My name is Bob Carson. I supervise the metal theft unit. Today we're talking about the theft of communication wire, internet wire, and any type of copper
Okay.
that's being stolen throughout the city of Houston.
Thank you for joining us today. For everyone watching, what is your role and how did you become involved in this task force?
Well, about in 2022, I was asked to come over to the unit. This unit's been in existence since 2008. It started when people were tapping into power and people were dying.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they were doing. They're cutting high voltage wire and people were dying on the street. So they started, HPD took the lead and started a metal theft unit.
Okay.
And so then it kind of went to everything. When you start hearing about churches, their air conditioners getting ripped out, or convenience stores or refrigeration, just, thieves are causing tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage for $20 worth of copper.
Wow, wow. All right, so we have Hood News peeps tuning in. Hey, what's up with it, Hood News peeps? Let me know if you guys can hear me. We're live with Sergeant Carson. He's with law enforcement, leading the major task force targeting fiber line vandalism across Northeast Harris County and further out. We've been hearing, as far as Porter, all the way out there. If you live in Crosby, Huffman, or the East Aldine area or Aldine area, this affects your internet, your safety, even your 911 access. So stay tuned for straight answers from the officer leading the charge. So when did you first notice this rise in fiber vandalism, and what made law enforcement realize that this was becoming a serious threat?
Well, when COVID started,
Okay.
it became a huge issue because people were working remotely. So all of a sudden, parents weren't getting paid, family, they couldn't do any work. So if they're not stroking them keys, they're not getting paid.
Yeah, for sure.
So some of these stories made newsworthy events.
Yes.
One of the issues we found was the companies themselves were not reporting it to us. Their job is customer service. So they're going out. Their job is to get that customer back up and running.
Right.
They don't have time to sit and wait for however long it takes for a patrolman to come and take an initial report. So we found very quickly that this is being very underreported. So one of the things we did is we got all the companies together.
Okay.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
And you're talking competitors.
Yeah.
But to get all of them competitors in a room, and they were wide open with everything. Their goal was not, hey, we're better than this company. Their goal was to solve the problem.
Right.
And so we worked with them. We started a task force, and so I explained what we do. I have an investigative role and a regulatory role.
Okay.
Within the city of Houston, not a lot of people know this. There's about 90 scrapyards.
Wow.
So
Just inside the city limits.
Just inside the city limits.
Wow, 90.
So this copper is going somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
So I have two detectives that have a regulatory role, and all they do is inspect scrapyards. So one of the first things we had to say, we don't know everything.
Right.
So we had to get the companies, whether it be the major Verizon, AT&T, Comcast, the major companies. Let's get together, show us what's most stolen. That way, when my guys are walking through a scrapyard and they see it, they know it doesn't belong there. They know right away it's stolen. So we had to kind of humble ourselves and say, we don't know everything. We had to go to the experts. So that we did, and we've had some good investigations. We're one of the very few police departments that have this type of unit.
Wow.
And because of that, we've had other companies or other departments send their officers down that have trained with us to see what we're doing different.
Yes.
And this task force has been so successful that the telecommunication providers, they have sent people from other cities to see how this works.
Okay, so you guys are teaching other agencies out there.
And teaching other, and they're developing these task force in other cities, and hopefully we can all be successful.
Okay. Can you describe the crime? Because I've got people asking, what is that? Like, they don't know. Can you tell us what the criminal element, can you describe what that is, what's happening?
Yeah, they're going up on poles.
Okay.
And whether it be a pole saw, a long pole with the saw on the end,
Yes.
and they're cutting the telecommunication wire.
Wow.
Cutting both ends. They're taking 900,000 foot at a time. But in doing so, they're also cutting the fiber optic line.
Yes.
Which has no resale value. There's no resale value at all to that. So, and it's damaging everything.
Yeah.
We had a major cut in the northeast part of town.
Yeah.
It affected Humble, Porter,
Wow.
parts of Northeastern, and it ran along that 59 corridor.
Wow.
So it took out banks, hospitals, doctors' offices.
Oh, yeah, everything along
Pharmacies.
the 59. Yeah.
So they were pretty much shut down. People couldn't get prescriptions. People, if they had elective surgeries, those surgeries were canceled until they can get everything verified through insurance. Everything comes to a standstill because at hospitals, they're handwriting records now. So your wait in an emergency room just went from an hour to 4 hours.
Okay, are you guys listening to this, folks at home? Because this is what they're having to deal with. The Texas Broadband Association is partnered up with law enforcement, and Sergeant Carson here, he's leading that task force that's targeting fiber line vandalism across Northeast Harris County. And this is the stuff that we were talking about, because we have people that work from home. We've got pharmacists that need prescriptions filled. We've got hospitals, they can't do the work. And this is a setback when something like this happens and there's an outage in the area because of this vandalism, because the thieves think that they're getting copper and they're really not. It just creates a huge setback for the community. Have you guys made arrests already so far?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Can you tell us about that? Like, what kind of charges are people facing?
They're facing theft, and at the time, it was not considered critical infrastructure under Texas Penal Code, communication line, and so basically we've had to go back to the legislature and get the law changed.
Wow.
Kind of like what we did with catalytic converters, same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've made several arrests on this, and we find it's repeat offenders quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's what they know. Today you got up, got dressed, and went to work. I got up, got dressed, went to work. These guys are at night. They're getting dressed and they're going to work.
Okay.
And that's their job.
And this is something that you think happens maybe more at nighttime, not in broad daylight?
It happens both,
Okay.
believe it or not, because we've also had guys that have a bucket truck, so they'll dress like a lineman, put a hard hat on,
I saw a video like that once. Yes.
a reflective vest,
The reflective vest.
and they're doing business. And the one you probably saw, that prevented, there was a family that was opening a family restaurant.
Oh.
So they poured their heart and soul and all their money into this restaurant. Now they can't open that restaurant until everything gets repaired. And it's not at the cost of Centerpoint or whatever company. You're going to be paying quite a bit of that,
Yeah.
depending on which way the line runs. So, yeah, it hurts.
Wow, this is it's so sad. That's the setback for our local businesses, especially they're the pillars of our community. So how dangerous is this to a community when a fiber line is cut? What, like we talked about hospitals, we talked about how it affects the local businesses. What about the thieves? Are they in danger when they do start messing around with those lines?
Yeah, they are. But when you talk about cutting the lines, you think about a family who lives in, say, a rural part. The only thing they have is an internet phone. Something happens, they can't call an ambulance.
Yeah.
That's it. They're done. They do their best, but so it really affects every aspect of life when you think about it.
Okay. Wow. That's just crazy. So, is there a message to the scrap yards out there that are, I know they there's got to be some telltale sign that this stuff is coming from somewhere it shouldn't. What about the people who work at these scrap? Is there something they need to be on the lookout so that they're not purchasing this from thieves?
Absolutely. They have some requirements. There's statutory requirements for them to take certain information. If it's burned wire, then they have to show that that came from a fire. The seller does.
Yeah.
And they have to ask for that information.
Okay.
And I say burned wire because it's easier for some of these bad guys to burn the sheathing off of it just to get to the copper. So when you see burned wire, you definitely know what burned wire is.
Wow.
And so they have some requirements. They're supposed to take your ID. They're supposed to get a thumbprint, a picture of the vehicle you came in, a picture of the license plate, a picture of the material you're selling. Wow. So our regulatory guys, my two detectives that do that, that's part of their responsibility.
Wow.
And they have to log it into an online database, which we have access to, and we can go back. And we work strongly with DPS and Harris County.
Okay.
This is just not an HPD issue.
Okay, so this is multiple agency.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there are agencies, Montgomery County, League City, Deer Park. So we've got Pasadena involved, Humble.
Wow.
So it's just not us. This is not a one-man show or a one-team show. It is truly a team that's working on this, and we assist one another. If there's things that need to be done that we can help them with, we certainly help, and they certainly jump in to help. So one of the things we really started doing, because the punishment phase, is we got the DA's office involved.
Oh, good.
DA Tier actually just recently did a public service video about committing his office to prosecuting these types of cases.
And we'll be sharing that video. I'm going to go look for it. I'm sure it's there. Yeah.
So
that's good. So you
we're
got
trying to get everybody involved.
And Sergeant Carson, let me ask you, why is like the Northeast like a targeted area, like as a hotspot? Why do you think that
rural
would be?
areas?
Okay.
Not a lot of people driving, not a lot of traffic. So it's very, and you got long stretches of wire.
Yeah.
You can cut 1,000 foot of wire, cut it in 8-foot sections, and have it gone very quickly. Or if you're using a bucket truck, a lift truck that has a wheel on it, you can just wheel that stuff back up on a spool.
Wow, I can't believe they're using bucket trucks. That's crazy. Like these guys are trying to look the part.
Absolutely.
Wow. Are you guys listening at home? What do you guys think about this? And we've heard, Sarge, a lot of these incidents happen overnight. What times or behaviors should residents be aware of?
Well, if they see people on the pole, they should call.
Yeah.
And our main thing is we'll come out and we'll see if they're legit or not. If we just had an incident, and I was just sharing it here yesterday. Somebody drove by, saw a guy in a bucket truck off of Greens Road messing with the wire.
Dang.
They called. Patrol responded immediately. They were on the phone with me within 5 minutes, sending me pictures of the work orders. I was on the phone with the company that supposedly the work orders came from, and they actually, the company went out there. So that's how all this task force is, the relationships we build. I can pick up the phone and call somebody. I'm not calling a 1-800 number, wait for customer service, and then try to get somebody. So within 30 minutes, we found out the person that was there was legit. But he was on his way. But we had never seen that. That was our first time to see that work in that sequence, and it worked perfectly. The way we wanted it to work once we started this task force.
Yes.
So
how are you guys using patrol, surveillance, and community tips to stop these crimes before they even happen?
Well, one of the things we did, we got Crime Stoppers involved.
Okay, good.
So they're involved, and they're offering rewards. Patrol, we talked to them. We had to educate the department ourselves, because one person would go out and say, oh, it's a theft, report it as a theft, and one person would say it's a criminal mischief because they damaged something. So we had to kind of put out some notices to department-wide, let's do it this way, and that way we can keep accurate statistics.
For sure.
As to what's going on. Now, our reporting system's kind of antiquated, and we're in the process of getting a new one, so hopefully we'll be able to have better stats.
Oh, good.
And better define what we're dealing with. So, but we work with patrol all the time.
Good.
We talk to them. We've done surveillance out in the middle of the night. You know, you think watching paint dry is boring. Watch a telephone pole for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's wild. And when criminals damage the fiber, how big of an operation is this to repair? Like, why does it take hours or like a full day? For those at home that say, oh, they can just replace it, it's not that easy.
It's not that easy. That's glass you're dealing with.
Okay.
It's, so you can't
Wow.
just twist it back together and, make a patch. There's a process they have to go through.
Wow.
And if they want it working correctly, working long term, that process has to be done.
Right. Have you seen any deaths from the people cutting this stuff down? And
Me personally, no. We haven't seen that in a few years here. So, but it has happened. Understand, it's just not the telecommunication that's getting affected. Like in Northeast part of the U.S., they're hitting their public transportation.
wow.
The copper is copper, and the difference is theirs is charged. It's electrically charged, so they're really getting hurt. They are dying up there.
Wow.
So when we started looking at numbers, and I just read the report from the broadband group, 51% of all the thefts are being between Texas and California.
Okay.
All reported thefts. So I mean that's huge. Now I think because of our investigations and the things, our group and Harris County and Texas Department of Public Safety, I think we've put a dent in it. We'd love to stop it.
Yeah.
And that's our goal, and we'll keep working towards that goal.
All right. And one cut, Sergeant Carson, how many people are affected by one cut, like you would say? Just one snip.
One snip can affect neighborhoods.
Okay.
Honestly. And until if it's just a cut, if it's not even stolen, if somebody just cuts it,
Yeah.
they've got to go track where the cut is.
Yeah.
So you're talking hours.
Okay.
Then you got the repair.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean, it's not a fast process.
Okay.
They do a great job, and they've been very responsive getting out to their neighborhoods because people working remotely, people
Yeah.
homeschooling,
Yes.
so they know people's livelihoods.
Yeah.
They need money to pay their bills. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got stay-at-home moms that work,
Yeah.
online, remotely. Like you mentioned, COVID, that was a time when I remember seeing videos of people trying to cut. I'm like, what are they doing up there?
Yeah.
One man, I know that you said you hadn't seen anything like that, but there was a man cutting down some kind of power line or some kind of line, and he died on top of a building. And listen to me, friends, and this is one story I haven't shared with anybody. There was a man that died on top of a building because he was cutting wires. We don't know what kind of wires this guy was cutting, and he died up there. And the only reason they even found him was because he was a missing persons on the Hood News, and they found him with the equipment to cut wires and cut wires with him. He got electrocuted because he may have cut the wrong ones, and this man was found deceased on a rooftop of a building, and he'd been there for days. Like, they couldn't find him, and it was so unfortunate. And the message is, if you see something, say something, friends, because potentially you can help the person that's committing the crime, because we don't want people dying or anything.
Right.
And it's just so detrimental what one snip can do to an entire community. We're talking about the pharmacies, schools. We got to keep the business going. Local businesses are impacted, big businesses. I mean, just everybody's affected by this when somebody, goes and cuts these lines. This vandalism is a very big problem. Just the other day, we didn't have internet all day, and now I'm wondering, could it have been because somebody came and cut the lines? Wow. Yeah. All right, Hood News peeps, let me know if you guys can hear me. We are sitting down right now. For those now tuning in and asking what's going on, who's this sergeant in front of me? This is Sergeant Carson, and you're with HPD.
I am.
He's with HPD, and he's the officer leading the biggest task force targeting fiber line vandalism across Northeast Harris County. And we're talking about 86 agencies. Can you walk us through how that collaboration works and what changes residents might notice?
Well, getting 86 different agencies together is kind of...
That's huge.
But there is a common goal, so it made it very easy.
Yeah.
So they're seeing, I think our population is starting to see more public service outreach videos on each individual's website for whatever company you use.
Yes.
And I think people are responding to it because they realize what it could cost them.
Yeah, that's amazing. So the law that you mentioned, because somebody asked what law was that? We're talking about Senate Bill 1646.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that bill that got passed
It upgraded a lot of the punishments for felonies.
Okay.
So no longer are we worried about dollar value. Oh, did he do $500 worth of damage or $600? Now the cut is that's it.
That's it. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's one of the biggest steps. And it also reiterated some of the reporting requirements for the scrapyards. So, and now we go educate the scrapyards.
Okay.
And they can be charged if they're accepting this material without the proper documentation.
And how many did you say we have in the city of Houston?
Right at 90.
90
And that's not counting Harris County.
Yeah, and we're not including that county.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. So they need to be playing a part with this too, and they can help as well.
And understand, most of them are legit businesses.
Yeah, for
they
sure.
They are good, and they're trying to do the right thing,
right?
Because they understand the stigma that comes with this.
Yes.
They do a good job for the most part. We have some bad actors, no doubt, because that copper is going somewhere.
Oh yeah, it is.
And because of our regulations, sometimes we find that we force it to be sold outside the county, out in a different county where they're not enforcing it as much as we do here. We want to catch them, but we also find quite a bit of wire in there, and we're on the phone, and it's just not wire; it's cell phone batteries.
Wow.
Things like that operate the cell towers.
Yeah. Wow.
So when they take those, everything has a dollar value.
Right.
And copper's gone up a tremendous. I mean, it's gone up like 500%. Here, there's becoming a worldwide shortage, and mining's difficult. It's not an easy mining process, and so that's why the cost has gone up, and it's becoming valuable worldwide. Everybody needs it.
Wow. Yeah, for sure. Everybody needs to have that connection. Yeah. So for those at home that are watching this video right now, they're like, well, how can I help? It's really simple. Share the video, friends at home. Get this word out. A lot of you guys might even know somebody that's doing this. Talk to them. Share this video with them. Send it to them. Say, hey, don't be the next one on the Hood News for this mess. Right. But what should somebody do if they see suspicious activity near a utility box, on the roadside cabinet, or the actual fiber line? Like, let's say somebody's walking their dog and they see these guys wearing these fake vests and that is looking shady. What should they do?
They should call us. They should call the police.
Okay.
Don't confront them. We don't want anybody to get hurt.
Yeah, for sure.
Let us go do our job. If you have the ability to take a picture, take a picture.
Yeah.
That's great. And then there was a video probably about 6 months ago. A young lady ran out and she caught these guys cutting wire. And they had just thrown it in the back of the truck, and she's screaming at them.
Yeah, I saw that.
She's got her phone.
I saw that, yes.
She did. That video, she did a great job. Put herself in some danger. She probably shouldn't have.
Yes.
Let us do that. But we were able to find those guys. We found the truck. She didn't capture the license plate in her video, but just using some investigative stuff that we do.
Yeah.
When you looked at the video, one tire had a different rim.
Oh,
so we were able to spot that.
Okay.
And that's how we ended up catching them.
Wow, great job.
So we want people to be safe. Let us do the job. Let us do what we're paid to do. But call us, and we'll come.
That's awesome. What number can they call 911 or
they
like
can call 911?
Okay, you guys heard that. You can call 911 for this.
If it's in progress, we want officers getting there pretty quickly.
Okay, yeah, we want that too. Sergeant Carson, what message do you have for the families, the victims? Like, because this is like a crime that leaves a lot of victims, not just, it's like the whole community. What message do you want to leave with families who have been dealing with these outages and this constant uncertainty? Because it's the Northeast. We know that the Northeast is getting targeted a whole lot. Maybe all of Houston, but also specifically this area because of the rural roads and, long stretches of road without, sometimes it's dark out there in the county. What do you want to tell the victims of like these families, these businesses who have to deal with these outages and uncertainty?
We want to tell them to call us. That's the main thing. Call us and let us investigate. One, like I said, the the communication companies do a great job.
Yeah, they do.
In the customer service aspect. And so their goal, like I said, is to get you up and running. We may not know about it. And we might find out about it a day later, but we want to be on it then, immediately. And give us your name, your number. We need witnesses. We love great witnesses. People are sitting there seeing it. And some of the judges are more stricter than others, and we want to make sure these guys get locked away.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And you know, like we've been like watching things like on the national level. I mean, because this is like not just Houston, not just Harris County, throughout Texas and all of the United States. In Los Angeles, we're seeing thieves cutting through the asphalt, prying off street plates, even climbing trees and poles. Are we seeing that same level of boldness here in Texas?
No, we're not seeing
good.
that. We are seeing them get on the poles, using ladders, whatever they have.
Okay.
But we're not seeing them cut off manhole covers and
Oh,
going
good.
down.
We're not there, yeah.
Not there.
Yeah, because of you guys.
Right. But we want to dang sure stop it before it gets there.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
And that's why this huge collaborative effort with all these different 86 agencies is amazing. And this guy right here that you're seeing, this sergeant, is leading the way.
Well, let me tell you, DPS, it's not all about me. DPS, Harris County, all my guys that work for me, they do a great job.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
Ron Joy, he's the service director for DPS under the regulatory services, and he puts that message out all the time. He wants his guys working, and they do a great job. And Sergeant Cook at Harris County, they do a great job.
Oh, hey, Sergeant Cook. Yeah, I hope he sees the video. He's getting a shout out. Yes.
Yeah, him and his guys are doing a great job.
Good.
And
That's good to know.
That's all we can do.
And can you explain, like, even if it's a temporary outage, like, what does this cause? Just like some people feel, okay, the internet's back on. You guys still have to deal with some serious matters, right?
If we find it's a cut, yeah. Sometimes it goes down for maintenance issues or things like that. And, we don't get involved in anything like that. But when it's a legitimate crime, absolutely we're involved. We're looking at every case.
So have you guys encountered any danger when you're out there investigating this?
I think our job is inherently dangerous, but we've not been shot at or anything like that. Hopefully we'll never get to that point.
Good deal. And then there's something where 14 states passed tougher laws this year. Do you think that there are going to be stronger penalties or more if needed?
I think more are needed. I think you've got to get to a point where you're looking at it at a federal level.
Okay.
In Sacramento, it took out delayed flights. They cut fiber around the airport.
Oh, no.
So you're delaying flights. There was another one, I think, may have been Austin, where they cut near the airport. And so all your boarding passes on your phone, all of them were down. So then they had to delay flights, go reprint boarding passes. So I think, at a federal level, there needs to be some involvement. And hopefully we can get that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Hood News peeps, any questions there? Because I see some of the comments are like, I didn't know, we're learning something together today. And we're seeing a campaign, right? Like we're seeing a lot of billboards out there with information also. And can you talk about that? Like the campaign in itself to get the word out?
Yeah,
this is so crucial.
As we had to learn, we want the public to learn. And like you said, you're getting a lot of comments, I didn't know.
Yeah.
We want people to know.
Yeah.
We want people to see it to where if they see something, they call us. So that's why we're having a big push. We can't be everywhere. And, Harris County, Houston's growing.
Yeah.
And we can't be everywhere, but we want people, once they see it, to know what it is and to call us immediately.
Yes, for sure. And what's the one thing you want people watching right now to understand about how serious these crimes are?
I think it affects people's lives. I do. If your house is on fire, you can't call a fireman. If you need an ambulance, you can't call an ambulance. If you need surgery, even if it's elective, you think about you've taken time off. If you're, I don't know what type of elective surgery, but you've taken time off, you've scheduled the anesthesiologist, the doctor, the surgeon, the recovery, and now all of a sudden you're out. What do you do?
Yeah, for sure.
So we want people to understand how it impacts everything. It affects homeschooling, I mean, work, military, anything, national security issues. So it affects all aspects of our
Even
life.
911 call centers are not safe, you guys. Just listen to this message. You tell me how serious this is when he's saying that even 911 is affected.
Yeah.
Like, that is some serious business. And we've seen and heard already that stuff like this happening because of these thieves, this vandalism that's happening with the fiber optic lines. Yeah.
Understand that we build redundancies in the 911 system, but if you can't have the ability to call out to even get there, that's a problem. So where if it messes with one of the trunk lines, we have a backup. But if that backup gets overloaded, we have another backup. But we don't want to be using those backup systems.
Oh, for sure.
We want to use our primary to people have immediate access.
All right. Can you take some questions? We got somebody with a question here.
Sure.
Okay. Nanray says, Nanray Cortez says, is there actual value in the lines, or are they confusing it for valuable materials?
The fiber, there's no value. There's no resale value at all.
Wow.
They're confusing it with copper. When you look at a pole, by OSHA requirements, the communication wire has to be so many feet away from high voltage. And so they know which ones to cut, and they think they're getting copper,
Yeah.
and they're not.
Wow. That's sad. That's so sad. What kind of punishments are you seeing for this kind of crime? Like, and can you give us an example?
One of our biggest ones that we did, and this guy, his name was Bill Baker. He was a serial wire thief. That's what he did. He pled to 10 years.
Wow.
Probably about 8 months ago. 10 months ago. Yeah.
How much time you said?
10 years.
10 years
And that
in
was
prison.
a plea.
Wow.
So now that's not the norm.
Right.
But that's just one example.
Yeah.
And when we build these cases, we try to show the previous convictions, their history. We look at their scrap history. How often are they scrapping copper?
Yeah.
We look at everything.
Wow, that's just great. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, we thank you so much for the work that you guys are doing, and now we have an audience here that knows like what to be on the lookout for, to go ahead and call it in, even if they're not sure, because some of these guys are dressing the part, like he said. He mentioned the bucket trucks. I didn't even know they were using those, but that's just, I've seen the videos where they're wearing the fluorescent vest, and they're looking somewhat, you can still tell because they might be in a beat up truck and, just running around crazy. But we want people to know that you can even call 911 because they want to catch this in action. They want to catch these people while they're committing the crime.
Absolutely.
So please call in. And is there anything else that you want to tell the peeps at home?
Oh, no.
All right.
Y'all be safe, and thanks for having me.
All right. Well, we're so thankful to have you today. Thank you so much. Y'all give a round of applause for Sergeant Carson. He did so awesome. He's on the Hood News with us, friends. Yes. Please, share this. If you know anybody that's doing this, share this video with them. We don't want to see anybody get hurt. And we don't want people going to jail for this. And we don't want to be without, our internet, without our necessities. We don't want 911 dispatch to not have their services available. We don't want to see setbacks in the community like this. That's why we're here today. And we want to also thank the Texas Broadband Association for providing this amazing and important public service announcement. Thank you, Sergeant Carson. It was so good to talk to you today.
All right. Great talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Hood News peeps, get ready. More Hood News on the way. I am on the run. We got another story coming up soon. Stay tuned, friends.